Hello, everyone, and welcome to the long-awaited next installment of Bodied, a Cloud9 fan cast. I'm your host, Havokpus, joined by Frozen, my partner in crime.
Yeah, back from the dead, I guess some of us could say.
Yes, I was away on vacation in California, and then I had work.
Yeah, I was on vacation in Toronto a couple weekends ago, so that threw us off a little bit, and just because it's the off season. But in other news, since I know a lot of our sports fans outside of esports fans, the Champions League is going on right now for soccer, and my team, Liverpool, just came back from a 3-0 deficit against Barcelona and knocked them out in the Champions League semifinals. So we have a date on June 1st.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, for our second back-to-back finals appearance, which is pretty nuts in the grand scheme of things. So
yeah, especially with soccer, like coming back from a 3-0 deficit is
oh, it was nuts, and our two of our three best players were hurt. So
oh wow, that sounds like a miracle.
Oh, it was absolutely nuts. It was so much fun. I was stuck at work,
I bet,
but slid it in on the side. But yeah, back to sports
back to esports.
Or sports.
Whatever. I'm really excited about this first piece of news because I saw it come out earlier this week. And I'm really excited about it and kind of caught up by it. But Cloud9 has signed their new World of Warcraft roster. I think C9 was into WoW Arena a little bit, and then they kind of went away. But they are back with a new WoW roster, and people are pretty jazzed about it. I hear this team was picked up, and they were doing really well. It is Chanimal, Cubsy, Snuts, and Wealthy Man. And they will be a part of Cloud9's new team, and you will actually get to see them at the AWC 2019 Spring Finals on the May 11th, which is this Saturday. So,
oh wow, okay. So
if you were excited about new Cloud9 teams and maybe like some new foreign esports as well as just maybe like super big into WoW, definitely check this out.
Okay, yeah. Did you grow up playing WoW?
I played it off and on. I'm
So
actually
how does it work?
curious about.
I've never.
I'm actually
WoW.
curious. I'm actually curious about like getting back into it because like the adventure of like taking this character and leveling up is so like fun and it feels like really rewarding to finally like get over certain milestones. But then when you like reach that peak and then it's like, well now what? Well, it's like, well now you can just kind of raid, and then raiding is such a tedious like time consuming like activity that it's just like,
Yeah,
I don't want to do this anymore. And then like you don't play it for a while, and then it kind of cycles.
yeah. That's what I've heard of it. Mostly. So I'll be honest. Since I didn't play WoW, I don't know what competitive WoW is like.
Yeah. I've never done PvP. I'm gonna try to watch this. Hopefully they play before I have to leave for work. And I may just watch it at work. But yeah, if this looks pretty cool, I may try to get into WoW PvP because I think that would be something that's definitely like an alternative once you hit like the max level that you can kind of do. To kind of maybe keep the game fresh and exciting.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look at it too, just to see what it's all about.
Oh yeah, for sure. Next up on our docket is PUBG. They are in phase 2 of the NPL, and they are currently sitting at 3rd place, which is great. I think the PUBG roster has been doing fairly well recently with playing and getting fairly up there in terms of the standings for these types of things. So really good that PUBG is continuing to do things.
Yeah. They've been playing well all year, so hopefully that's something that can, continues going on to this still. So
Yeah, for sure. I don't I don't have a lot to say on on them.
yeah, that's fine.
Uh, but we what we can't talk about is Rocket League's losing streak. They have been losing quite a few games recently, and they've gotten in kind of a bad funk, which is somewhat disheartening. They've lost to a bunch of teams in like the RLCS, and I think maybe they also went to like a small tournament, or they were participating in something as well, and they lost out in that fairly early. So kind of just a rough spot that they've been in. I wasn't able to watch a lot of Rocket League, but I think it may just be that they're in kind of like a bad spot, and they just need to kind of, maybe practice and chill and try to get back to what works.
Yeah, I don't think it's uncommon for teams to go through phases such as this. It could be numerous factors and such, but they're still young, so a life happens. So I'm hoping it's just like some kind of funk, and that they're ready to step up their game again soon. Because at their best, yeah, this is arguably the best team in the world in Rocket League. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't lessen their ability or anything, and calling for I'm not calling for Squishy to just get kicked off the team. I don't want any of that. I think that Cloud9's Rocket League roster has been really great for most of their history, and they've been one of the big pillars for C9 in recent history. So I think they just have to just shake it off and try to get back to what was working for them.
yeah, and they're losing against good teams for the most part too. So it's not like they're dropping games against someone who's not G2 or oh crap, I'm blanking on the other team.
Like NRG
No, the
or Dignitas.
Dignitas, yeah.
I'm just I'm just listing teams.
Yeah, it was Dig. So hopefully they do have the regional qualifier coming up soon, since they finished third in NA League play. So
Yeah.
keep your eyes out for that.
Well, let's move on to watching the Watchmen, as they say, with some Overwatch talk. I'm going to talk about the good news first. The London Spitfire defeated the Houston Outlaws for the first time in regular season play. It was a nice 4-0 victory, so it padded their map differential, and with the Atlanta Reign being New York Excelsior, London Spitfire have secured the Atlantic Division and are in third place going into the Stage 2 playoffs.
Yeah, it is a big turn around from last stage, just due to the fact that one, they made playoffs, and two, they did it in such a dominant fashion. So even if the meta didn't quite change as much as we were hoping, the boys still were able to figure it out and turn that back on. So
I think one thing that did maybe help them was this stage they had a fairly light schedule. Outside of Philadelphia and probably the Chengdu Hunters, they didn't really face any teams that were really super high tier, so it wasn't like they were facing anything too daunting or challenging. And Monty did bring up a good point as they were facing the Houston Outlaws, that London Spitfire hasn't really been challenged this stage at all. Like when they, you know, I lost the schedule. When they play the Hangzhou Spark, or the or if they win that game, if they play like Vancouver or the Gladiators or New York, you know, is London really going to be playing just as good as they did throughout the stage against someone like the Outlaws, who have been looking really bad this season, or like some of the other weaker teams that they faced. And I think that is a big concern that the Spitfire should have.
Oh yeah, for sure. It is probably a concern, but I think it's still good to see a turn around from last stage, even if it's not.
Oh, for sure,
against like Vancouver or the Excelsior or something. But on that note, the Stage 2 playoffs actually start tomorrow from when we're recording this. So probably by the time this episode gets out, you will know the score to that. So sorry that we aren't able to talk.
Sorry, we're not wizards.
Talk about that. Yeah. Although we can talk about it and act like London won, but it's an 11 p.m. Eastern.
That would be really cool.
Game. Yeah, it's the late game, so I'm not even gonna be able to watch any of it.
Yeah,
I'll be in bed. So
yeah,
unlucky.
Oh well. Hopefully they win, but we'll have to see. Going to some bad news, it looks like the British Hurricanes lost in the Overwatch Contenders European Finals. They were up against the Angry Titans, and British Hurricanes, even though they were undefeated like all the regular season and looked really good going into this finals match, they just really dropped the ball. Watching the game, it looked like they were just really lost on their coordination that they had previously. Like Numlock would, for example, he would shatter, or he would just charge really far forward without like any of his team, and then Numlock would just die. So then Numlock just dies here, already at like a 5v6 scenario, and then your team just kind of all dies, because in the meta right now, if you don't have all 6 members, you can't really turn it around most of the time. So it was just sloppy playing like that, and all around just people getting caught out really at inopportune times, and it all snowballed to just the Hurricanes falling short and coming in second.
Yeah. I actually didn't get a chance to see it, so I will trust you on that. But on a quick side note, I just realized that the Cloud9 website now has events listed on top of the homepage. It's not very updated because the next event is May 31st, and I obviously the Spitfire play tomorrow. So
at least they finally have a calendar, something that we've been begging for years.
Oh, years. It's
it's literally been something that has been gotten requests for all of the time.
Yeah. Oh, also, I'm looking at the slider on the homepage right now, and I think you kind of look like Cubsy from the WoW team.
Oh, really? Do I?
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Maybe, who's to say that I'm not Cubsy in real life, Frozen?
That's true. No, you are working a long time this weekend, so. I've never seen you guys inside the same room either, so.
Exactly. Until it's proven otherwise, Cubsy and I could be the same person.
I'm convinced now.
The true C9 conspiracy theory.
Also,
but
yeah,
yeah, that's pretty much it for Overwatch. I did hear some interesting League of Legends news, Frozen, and it looks like Immortals and Dignitas are coming back into the LCS. At least that's the rumor, yes. I think.
That's the rumor. I wonder if
the Outlaws. I think not the Outlaws. Optic Spot is being bought out because I think they basically went bankrupt, and I'm not sure how Dignitas is getting in. I think maybe Clutch Gaming is renaming or something. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but
it's good news.
Yeah. Nice to see some fan favorite faces back in the LCS.
Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna go like not the good old days, but like the good days where like they were dying to towers and dying to Baron and screwing up
Yes.
lane swaps and stuff. Because to be honest,
I want to see the
that was the
Dignitas
best.
curse.
Or yeah, that was the best version of Dignitas.
That game with them against the Renegades was amazing for how bad it was.
It was a shit show.
It was hilarious.
And that's why it was so much fun. But I'm assuming that they will have a better roster, just because it's hard to be quite as bad as they were way back then.
Oh, for sure. I am. Sorry.
I was just gonna move on to some other like quick League of Legends stuff really quick. So I'm not quite sure who went through and did this. Oh, it was escharts.com. They went through and did a tally of the most popular LoL teams of 2018. And Cloud9 was actually second of the most hours watched of specific teams. Right behind, not right behind, but way behind Fnatic in first place. So it sounds like the brand is strong. They're ahead of RNG, G2, is that Kingston Dragon X, I think, and then SKT, KT Rolster, Team Liquid, Afrika, and I don't actually know. Oh, Invictus Gaming. So that's pretty sweet.
I mean, that's a pretty strong brand if you're way ahead of Team Liquid and other brands like SKT or G2. And I mean, it makes sense that Fnatic is probably the biggest esports brand because it has a huge following in Europe and they've been around longer than Cloud9, I think, as well as they have a lot of history across a lot of like really big esports like CS:GO and League of Legends and probably a few other esports where they are like really, really big names. So it makes sense that Fnatic would probably be the most popular.
Yeah, and it probably is a little bit biased due to the fact that Cloud9 played play-ins for Worlds last year. Then we made a deep run, so that was a bunch of games for people to watch.
we padded the stats.
Yeah, but if I remember right, most of those games were at a weird hours too. So it wasn't like all of North America was turning on their stream at 8 p.m. It was like a lot of people going on at like 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. or something, and that's all in Eastern Standard Time. So it is an accomplishment because we didn't go to Rift Rivals. We did make a nice gauntlet run, which I guess helped, but Team Liquid swept through the year and they were like the big deal going in, but we still beat them by a good 5 million hours watched. So whether it says something or not, I don't know, but it is pretty sweet. Also the last bit of quick little stuff I saw, somebody was going and making videos about about specific champions and like win rates and pick rates and KDAs and stuff. And actually Sneaky has the highest win percentage of any 80 carry on Ashe. Which is I'm assuming that there's a pick minimum in there somewhere. So Sneaky has played Ashe looks like 60 times in 2019. That doesn't feel right, but he has the highest win percentage by 0.35 over Prey, so pretty neat. And Jensen was the highest win percentage in KDA on Orianna, which a good amount of that time was spent with Cloud9, so kind of fun fact.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you can find those on the subreddits. on the Cloud9 subreddit if you want to look more into it. It looks like the YouTube channel is just called Ranking History, so I assume that they did a bunch of champions then, but only the Cloud9 ones got uploaded.
As they should be.
Yep. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, so if you're looking for something to do, please go look. It goes all the way back to 2012. It looks like. So that's cool.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully they have some more good content. I can't think of anything else to talk about Frozen.
Yeah, it's the off season for League.
Endgame came out. That was fun.
Not seen that.
Oh my god, Frozen! Why have you not seen it yet?
Never seen Game of Thrones either.
I'm shocked.
I think
you can't hear it in my voice, but I'm shocked.
I think both of those are technically problematic, but I just don't really care all that much, to be honest.
Well then, this kind of took a dead end.
Yeah. Last thing, how do you think Team Liquid does at MSI?
I mean, I gotta say, I think they could probably go maybe the finals or semifinals. I mean, I think that with the amount of star power just in their roster and how they've been performing just in the spring season, they would have to do well, right? But then, like it's hard, like trying to factor in like Doublelift does not do well at international events. We don't know why. Maybe it's just the pressure. Maybe he's overgauging and overconfident in his own ability, and then just gets so surprised that he just doesn't do well. I don't know what, but Doublelift's record at international events is, not the best. I mean it's fine, but it's not like probably what he wants or it should be.
Yeah. And I mean, I think they'll do just fine. I think they're like in the top 4 best teams. It's just the fact that the teams ahead of them are quite a bit better. I think it's good.
Yeah, for sure.
It'd be fun to watch them play G2 and see how they match up against them, because we think G2 is a better team by like a decent amount, I feel like. Mm-hmm. But Cloud9 has been to semifinals at Worlds, so it's not like NA's just gonna roll over and die. So I think if we were to put them somewhere, it would be the 4th best team, and I feel like that's where they're gonna finish. That would be finishing above Fangvu, Buffalo, Flash Wolves. Yeah, above both those 2 teams. So, but I think they're not as good as IG or SKT, but I guess that's why they play the games.
Yeah, but it should be fun seeing them play like G2 and stuff.
Yeah, so the MSI schedule is not on LoL Esports, but I feel like that starts this week.
I think so.
In fact, I think it would probably start tomorrow. Oh,
yeah.
It uploaded finally. It's Friday.
Oh, we gotta get down on Friday.
Yeah, so if you're dying to watch Team Liquid, they play at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, and then at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, excitement.
Yeah, so this podcast will probably be out as Team Liquid is playing on Friday. That's probably when I'll get around to it. So you will know how Team Liquid is stacking up against the other teams by that point. But yeah, I think that's about it. It's
I honestly cannot think of anything.
Yeah. We'll be back again soon. Probably not too soon, just due to the fact that it's the off season still, and not a ton is happening.
We'll just keep an eye out for us. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at C9Bodied.
Also subscribe to us in your favorite podcast app. We should be in most of them.
Yeah.
If not every popular one, But if there's one you don't see us in, tell me, and I will work on getting us in there, because I remember there was one night about a year ago, I just went through and uploaded us to a bunch of podcast apps, and I actually haven't gone back to check. So I got a new phone. I'm on Android now, and I had to get a new podcast app. So I guess now will be the test.
Well, I think that's it. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next time.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.